Gun Talk continues now in a more informal setting. Get ready for an on-topic, off-topic free-for-all featuring Tom, call screener Michelle, and Gun Talk producer Jim. Now, lazily bon ton roulette. In Louisiana, that means let the after-show good times roll.
All right, it is the after show where we do things that they won't let us do on real broadcast radio. We got Jim and Michelle are here. Michelle, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Tom?
You got a call specially for you. I had the Federal 327. I know you like that.
I do like that. I was excited to hear those calls come in.
Should have seen the happy dance she did.
I know. It is a much underappreciated or sometimes even not appreciated cartridge.
I just think it's so unknown. And now the only company that's producing that caliber, of course, is Ruger. So yay to them. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that.
Yep. There you go. We'll see if we can convince a few more of them to get into that. We have several callers here, guys. So I'm going to put you, we're going to talk amongst ourselves here in a minute, but I do want to get some of these folks in if that's okay. In fact, we're going to do it even if it's not okay. So there you go. That's because we can. All right, let's pick up Leslie on line 2 out of Phoenix. Leslie, thank you for calling in. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. How can we help you?
I am looking for a lightweight gun. I've had wrist injuries, and so I can't. I had a SIG, and I can't fire it. It's just too heavy. So I was looking for something that would be lightweight and easy to carry and shoot.
Okay. Now, SIG makes a lot of different guns, so do you know which model you had?
No, I don't, but it was older. It was older and bigger. My husband gave me.
There are truly 200 guns we could recommend. So we kind of got to drill down just a little bit here. Okay. Are you okay with a semi-auto? Are you familiar with that? You're okay shooting that kind of gun?
I have, yes. Semi-automatic would be nice.
Okay, as opposed to a revolver. So you're okay with that?
Correct.
Now, when you say the surgeries to your wrist, can you work the slide on a semi-auto? Okay.
The SIG I had was quite stiff.
They tend to be. They tend to be.
Okay.
Yes, I think I'm getting to where we need to be with this, frankly.
Okay.
And you're going to have this as a carry gun? You're going to carry this with you?
Yes.
All right. Here's what I'm going to recommend. It wouldn't normally be what I recommend to everybody, but for your situation with weak wrist due to surgeries, I think I want to put you into a semi-automatic chambered for the 380 cartridge. The 380 shoots the same diameter bullet as a 9mm, but it's just a little bit less velocity, less speed. But what that gets us, and here's the real key to that, it allows them to put a much softer spring, recoil spring in, so it's really easy to work the slide on these pistols.
Oh, okay. Great.
So there are basically 2 that I would, well, there may be 3 or 4 as I think about it, that I would recommend. When you look at 380 pistols, they come in like teeny tiny, and you're going to look at that and say, oh, that's nice and small and light. Don't buy that. That's a harder gun to shoot. It's not the one, because, I mean, they're really small. What you want is kind of the mid-size. So the brands and the models I would think of would be the Ruger LC 380. Help me out, guys, on 380s.
There's Smith & Wesson
mid-size.
Bodyguard.
Smith & Wesson Bodyguard.
Ruger makes a really nice 380 as well. I think it's the 938 and the 930 series. That's a lightweight pullback. That's the one I think is probably the lightest of those.
Okay. And then SIG has some small 380s that are very nice. Ruger, Smith, there's
Glock and Carr.
Of course, Glock and Carr. The Glock 42 is a very nice little 380, and it's not teeny tiny, but it's kind of small. But again, staying with the 380, we avoid having the really hard slides to work. I think at this point, what you probably need to do, because you're in Phoenix, you got lots of great gun stores there. Go to a good gun store and tell them, okay, I'm looking for a mid-size. Make sure they understand you're looking for a mid-size 380. Not the little bitty guys. And then when they hand it to you, work the slide several times and make sure that if you really have to struggle with it, that's probably not a good one. But if you can work it And I tell you what, let me take another 30 seconds and just coach you up on how to work the slide on these guns, okay? Because there's a technique that's really going to make it easy for you. Do you shoot right-handed?
Okay. No, I'm left-handed.
Okay, left-handed. All right, so you pick the gun up in your left hand, and you're going to keep your trigger finger outside of the trigger guard, and you bring the gun close into your chest. Keep it pointing away from you, okay? But bring the gun fairly close to your chest, and with your right hand, imagine doing this, you reach over the top of it, and your right hand hovers over the top of the gun with your palm facing down and your right thumb pointing back at your chest. It's hovering above the slide.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, you grab the slide with that hand. You're not pinching it in the back. You're actually going right over the top of the slide and grabbing that whole slide with your whole hand. Now, at the same time, you're going to shove forward with your left hand and backwards with your right hand hard, like you're trying to rip the slide off. All of a sudden, you're not trying to pull against this weight. You just rip it, push with one hand and pull back with the other hand. I'll guarantee you it's going to be easy for you.
Definitely. Okay. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, go look for a mid-size 380 and then get you some ammo and go out and shoot. You got a lot of good training facilities there. And, of course, not too far up the road north of you, you got the world-class training facility, GUNSIGHT, which is up in Paulden, just north of Prescott.
Oh,
that's
I didn't know about
one of the best.
Okay.
Oh, well, I will tell you, that's one of the best places in the world. It is considered the Harvard of gun schools. So it's GUNSITE, gunsight.com. It's a wonderful place. And so whether you want to take a regular class or all women's class or whatever you want, they've got them up there. It's worth the trip. People come from quite literally from all over the world to go there.
Thank you.
So there you go. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate the call. Mike's in Wichita, Kansas on line 4. Mike, what you thinking about doing here?
Well, I'm laughing right now. Your call screener is psychic. This couldn't have been any better. I, too, suffer from wrist surgeries and hand repairs, and I have a 380 that I use as a carry piece for that reason. And it worked out perfect. So how she knew to connect us, I don't know. But my reason for calling is that I've got a pickup truck, a van, and an SUV. Recently got rid of my car. Because I carry a 380, I always like to have a long gun, either a shotgun or a rifle, in the car. And I had a bracket made, a mount that went in the trunk, and it was secure. And then, of course, the trunk was locked. But now I'm down to a pickup and a van and an SUV, and I don't have a trunk to put a weapon in a bracket. We used to have brackets that went in the back of the pickup window, and I don't remember if they outlawed those or if I just got tired of hearing from all my friends about their guns being stolen. But I took the rack out of the back of the pickup. Now that we're a constitutional carry here in Kansas for humans carrying, what can we do as far as a vehicle to carry a long barrel?
All right. I do remember lots of pickup trucks having gun racks in the back, and it was like one of the greatest things ever. Here's the problem, and you've already touched on it. There are enough creatures out there who will break into your car and truck to steal almost nothing. If you hang a gun up there for them to steal, then that's almost an attractive nuisance. I personally wouldn't do it. I would. Now, there are some really good racks, like a pickup truck, that'll go on the back of the seat. Even if it's not even an extended cab, you can put it right behind the front seat, or there are just different ways to do it. There are under seat mounts. There are different ways to have a long gun in your truck or your car or your van. I personally would not go with a window rack.
No, I'm not wanting to do the window rack anymore.
Okay.
But as far as the legalities of having a long barrel gun in the vehicle and having it secured either mechanically or electrically latched in place, like I've got a little safe that I carry something larger than the 380 in case I need it. But
right.
I get comfort knowing that I've got that long barrel handy, and I'd like to put one in the Blazer.
What you want to do is what you're going to have to do is check the regs in Kansas. My guess is it's perfectly legal, but make sure, because each state's different, and I don't live in Kansas. Make sure that you're legal there. If they require the gun to be unloaded, that's easy, particularly if you're going to carry something that has a detachable box magazine like an AR. Just carry it with the magazine out. A magazine could be in the console. Pop the rifle out, smack a mag in, work the action, you're good to go.
Where's a person go to look for that resource to find out what's legal in a vehicle?
I would probably start with a website called handgunlaw.us. I know it says handgun in there, but they'll have links in there to the gun regulations of your state. So it's not .com. It's important. It's handgunlaw.us.
Appreciate it, Tom.
All righty. Appreciate that, Mike. You be safe out there. James is in San Antonio on 3. Hello, James.
How are you, Mr. Gresham?
It sounds like you've been shooting.
No, sir. Oh, yes, sir, I have. Quite a bit, actually. I want to give you a range report on a few firearms I've gotten this year so far.
Okay.
I just picked up a Smith & Wesson M&P 22 compact, and I have to say I fell in love with it through the first magazine. No issues whatsoever. I've got over 250 rounds through it so far. It's just been an absolute pleasure to own. The second one was actually a gift from my wife for our first anniversary back in May. She bought me a Kimber ProTac 2 1911. That's going to be hopefully my carry gun. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very, very lucky. I really enjoy it. I've got about 400 rounds through it, about another 100 to go, and then I will start carrying that weapon on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to start shopping for a crossbreed holster and a new gun belt for it. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Last but not least, I sent you an email probably, I believe it was back in March, of a rifle, a 270 that my grandfather handmade for me. I'm not sure if you recall that or not.
I do remember that.
Good. I finally got to take that out to the range a few times. It's topped with a Leupold 2.5x8 VX3. Got it sighted in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is perfect. Got it sighted in about an inch high at 100 yards. It shoots like a dream. It's got a Timney trigger in it, and the stock is just, every time you shoulder it, everything lines up perfectly. I just couldn't have been happier. It was a great gift. I'm very blessed to have a grandfather and a father and everybody that's into the custom rifle world, and just a great experience to own one of these custom rifles. Everybody should get to experience that at least once, I believe.
It really is nice. And I am with you there on that Smith & Wesson M&P Compact. I think that is a delightful pistol to shoot. They just are great. And particularly if you have an M&P 9 or 40 or 45, they kind of all go together. But even if you don't, it's just a great, small, very comfortable, and not a very expensive semi-auto pistol. So I appreciate that. James, thank you so much for the range report. I appreciate that. Hey, guys, how do we do this? Let's take our break right now, and then we can come back, and we've got a few things we can chat about. Oh, sounds good?
All righty.
Let's do it. Be right back.
The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
All right, we're back with you. It is, of course, the after show of Gun Talk. If you're listening to this on Gun Dealio, good for you. If you're not, then why aren't you? We had, guys, our first testimonial call, I think it was our first one, on Gun Dealio. A guy maybe the second one. People are saving money using the app. I got a kick out of that because that's the whole idea, is to help people save money.
Well, and he really felt like he took advantage because he felt like he got such a steal on the price. He'd even care if there was a rebate or free batteries or anything. So it's awesome.
Yeah, he got a deal and a half.
Plus, he'd been looking for a while. It wasn't just like, impulse buy. I mean, he'd been looking at
That's interesting, yeah, because he was looking at him. He said, well, I just don't want to pay that much. I don't know. And then he's scrolling down and looking at the Crimson Trace deals on Gun Dealer. He goes, whoa, I've got to get in on that one. So he was all over it. He got there.
Smart man.
That's cool. Now, and Michelle, you mentioned, you said, we've got offers in there, and some of them are like Cabela's only deals, and some are, what we do is we try to find whoever offers the deal. If it's from a manufacturer, it's good everywhere. If it's strictly from Cabela's, we tell people about that. Wherever they can go to get these, but a lot of, in fact, I would say the vast majority of them are available in any gun store because it comes from a manufacturer.
Right, and I did notice that. I, of course, have the app on the phone. I'm not paid to do that, but I do have the app as well because it is a useful tool. And there, I would have to say the majority of the offerings there are manufacturer direct. They're rebates, they're free magazines, it may be a holster. It's all different kinds of things. So pay attention, get that app. It's exciting.
And it changes all the time. If you looked at it on Monday, by Thursday or Friday, there are new deals on there. It's always populating. So each time you fire it up, it's going to check and download the latest list, because we have somebody that does nothing but that all day, every day, just running out there beating the bushes and finding the deals and sticking them on there.
Well, and everybody likes something for nothing.
Well, yeah.
So if it was,
wait, I could buy a gun and get like 2 free or 3 free mags. Yeah, I'm in.
Right. Take advantage of the situation that we have with the app. So, yay, Gundealio.
Yay, it's like Gundealio. It's fun stuff. So there you go. You're doing happy dance back there. I know. It's all
right.
good. So
That's right.
we're having fun. I was thinking about, for some reason, I'm looking at the Ruger website. I don't know. We kind of touched on it at one point. I just wanted to mention Ruger is doing some really interesting stuff. They have a takedown AR now. And I know people say, wait, any AR is a takedown. I know, but once you actually look at the website and look at it, you're going to go, oh, that's really different. The way the barrels switch out, it's just very cool what they're doing. So, and now they've got this new precision rifle they just announced last week. Those guys are not sitting still. They're doing a lot of good stuff.
I'm on their site right now, ignoring you guys, looking at gun stuff.
People say, well, I don't know. And it says, well, actually, during the breaks, we're all looking at gun videos and websites, and we're sending links to each other. Say, have you seen? And I sent you the link to the knife rights sweepstake.
Yeah.
Is that amazing?
Wow, those are beautiful. Some beautiful knives.
They're works of art.
Guns.
I don't think. Particularly the knives, I'm not sure I would ever use. Some of these knives you just wouldn't even use. They're just too pretty.
Yeah, they're showpieces.
They're Damascus blades and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool stuff.
Ooh, I'm on the Ruger site now. Ooh.
Oh, wait. Wait a minute. I just
takedown.
found one. The Ruger LC380 CA. Yep. I'm shopping. I'm sorry. I'm gun geeking here, guys. So we're just doing what we do.
It's in our blood.
See, Michelle, we are the guys that keep you in business.
Hey, I enjoy every bit of the web pages. For that
we
reason.
go there and shop, and then we go to their store and say, "Do you have this?"
Let me see that one. Yeah.
Well, here's a thought that a lot of people may not be aware of. If they go to your store and say, "Do you have this?" and you don't, it's really easy generally for you to get something. If you don't have a Ruger or whatever it is, you can get it in there from one of the distributors in a couple of days.
Granted, it's as long as they have it available as well. But typically on a handgun, it's a day, maybe a 2-day turnaround time, depending on when you call and your distributor's closed. But absolutely, it's pretty easy right now to find what the needs are of your customer.
Exactly. So if you have a store that you like, I guess that's where I would like to go with this. If you have a store that you like, and sometimes it's a smaller store. It may not be one of these huge deals that has everything. But they actually do have everything. It's just in a warehouse somewhere else in the country. And they can get it to you inside of a week generally.
Well, if you can imagine how many different people are out there in the world and how many different wants and needs, it's virtually impossible to have everything in-house. So the fact that we can order and have, computer catalogs and resources available to us, we can tell you immediately yes or no. So it is an awesome source.
And that's the other thing. You can go on and look at the distributors that you work with, and you will know, looking at their website, if they have it in stock at that moment. Because if it's not there, it'll show up. And when the last one's gone, it shows up immediately. So you can say, yes, there it is. It's ordered. It's going to be here. There's no wondering whether or not after you ordered, am I going to get it or not? You know you're going to get it.
Right. I mean, there are times when things are just complete allocation. We have that with 22 ammunition and some of the hotter, newer guns. But, we can at least tell you as soon as one comes in, we can put your name on the list. At least that's the way our store operates. So there's a couple of different ways around it. But the computer is a huge resource.
Are you saying the industry's changed in the past 30 years?
Slightly.
Well, it has,
this whole
I haven't.
computer thing, is going to catch on.
It'll never work.
One of the things we find is that, our research is that more than half of the people who are on the web are doing it on their phones.
Well, that's very true. And the other thing is, too, it gives them the opportunity to, if it's something new, for instance, the Glock 43 is the big push right now in the 9mm. And if nothing else, it gives you the opportunity to showcase all the other guns because maybe they're a Glock fanatic and never wanted to see the Ruger. So, you have the opportunity to showcase several different guns that are very similar and see what works best for them.
Well, case in point, I was at your place a couple weeks back. I was looking at a Taurus versus a Ruger, and I ended up going with Springfield that I just hadn't looked at before.
You're sick. You know that, don't you?
Yeah. Like I needed another one.
Well, of course you did, obviously.
I did. I don't have one in that color.
It was like Tina who called the show. She says, well, I looked at this, I looked at that one, so you know what I bought? I said, both of them, right? Yeah, I bought both of them. Okay. Of course you did.
And we love people like that.
Well, yeah. We are people
It's just
like
it makes us feel more normal. Yeah.
That's who we are. Exactly. I got to tell you, I did enjoy Tina's call. We actually had, that was interesting. We had, let's see, Tina and Leslie from Phoenix is carrying. And then we had Jose from Lafayette, Louisiana, where the shooting just took place, and said, well, he's been carrying, and his wife has her permit, but hasn't been carrying. What did he say? She only carries when she's thinks she might be robbed.
Yeah. It must be nice to be omniscient.
Okay. Yeah. That whole clairvoyant thing going. So,
yeah.
But this one struck close to home, literally for her. And so she said, I'm going to start carrying all the time. And you want to, on the one hand, say, well, gee, what were you thinking? It's okay. We all got there through different methods at different times and different motivations that get us to the point where we go, okay, I get it now. I really need to be taking care of myself and my family all the time.
Right, and I understand comfort and stuff, and I don't want to carry there but aside from that stuff, what's the drawback to carrying and not needing it versus the alternative?
Well, yeah, the horror of needing it, not having it.
I think it's a false sense of reality when you rely on your partner to have you and his back or her back or however it might be. You talk about the selfishness. I don't know if it's selfishness necessarily, but it is a hard job to carry. We all know that from carrying.
Sure.
You change your clothes, you change your holsters, you have a lot of money invested in different firearms for summer, for winter. I mean, etc. But I do think it's a false sense of reality. If something truly happened, and typically it happens in numbers, if it's something going down on the street, that I think everyone needs to be prepared. You both need to be on the same page, which is duly important for, I think, training, sync training. You need to be synchronized. You need to be on the same page with your what ifs.
It's a great point. Two is not twice as good as one. If two of you are carrying, it's like 5 times better than one because you're able to scan different areas and protect each other and just on and on. But to your point, Michelle, only if you've trained and practiced it.
Yeah, and it's over and over and over again. We beat the dead horse by saying training, but that is the only way that you get better, more efficient, whatever you want to say.
I was thinking about one of the drills we were doing. We had 2 people, and so we're teaching them, okay, what do you do? You're together, and something breaks out, and what we do is we have them backing up like at a 45 from where the threat is. So they're getting further away at the same time that they are spreading the distance between themselves so that it becomes much more difficult for a bad guy to take them both on. And also they are improving their field of fire the whole time. So, and that's one of those things that you think, well, I never thought about it. But then if you think about it, have we talked about it? This is what we're going to do. Okay, let's just go out and do this walking through our paces. It doesn't even have to have guns. Let's just say, okay, something happens here, let's practice our move. And then we just both start walking back at a 45-degree angle from each other. Okay, that works. Let's, just do it slow. It's that kind of a thing. You just have, and I get it. People don't want to practice this stuff because it's scary. It makes you sound paranoid and all. At some point, you got to screw up your courage to say, I don't care what people are thinking or saying. I'm just going to, I'm going to take care of my family. I don't know. I came up with this idea, guys, and I'm curious to your ideas, your reaction. I just keep hearing people say, well, I would do anything for my family. I would do anything to protect my family. And then they're not carrying. They're not training. They're carrying little pop guns. They're basically not doing anything along those lines and somehow thinking that, yeah, I'll answer the call when it happens. I don't know. It's just an idea I had.
I think a lot of that's machismo, too. You know, I'm tough.
There's
I can take care of my family. Training, schmaining. I'm tough. I'm 6 foot. I'm 200 next pounds.
Until that 17-year-old guy who's been practicing his martial arts moves, his MMA moves for 5 years, can just take you out with one punch, and now you're down, and your wife and kids are standing there, and you're simply out of the equation.
Well, and I think it's important to mention here, too, I mean, people have children in their house of varying ages from very young, which obviously you wouldn't necessarily train them for this. But once they get to the point where they are competent and reliable with a firearm, I think it's important for a child to know where or how. And I'm going to say child, probably being of a teenager age.
Youngster.
Yes, to be able to get to a source to protect themselves as well.
Absolutely. Anybody who is trustworthy and competent, and youngsters, I mean, we know of situations where young people, and we're talking early, like 10, 11, 12, certainly 12, 13, 14 years old, have protected themselves with guns at home. Some cases an AR, whatever they know how to run, they could get to. So, no, you're exactly right. I look at this and understand in my heart, I'd like for everybody to be trained up and careful and all that. And I know that the reality is probably it's a 1% thing. I mean, in terms of people who are really serious about it are going to adopt this as a lifestyle, because that's what it is. You're changing your lifestyle, what you're going to wear, what you're going to do, how you operate, everything else. It becomes an integral part of every day of what you do. And
I think
it's probably 1%.
Yeah, I think that's right, because you're talking about 100 million gun owners, and you only got 12 million, call it 10 million around it. You got 1 out of 10 actually went ahead and got a permit. And out of those permit holders, you probably got 1 out of 10 that actually trains.
Yeah, and 1 out of 10 of that who actually trains really.
Right.
I mean, it's down to some fairly low numbers, and that's okay. Wolves got to eat. There are going to be sheep. As terrible as that sounds, if you have decided you're not going to take care of yourself, I hate to sound really callous about it, but what do you think is going to happen? Oh, I got one for you. This is another one right out of the news this week. It's a learning opportunity for all of us. In New Orleans, a guy is driving around, crashing his car into stuff. There's a homicide detective, not on this case, not anything else. He's right there. But they said somebody's in uniform, which I thought was interesting. But at any rate, he goes over and basically, stops this guy and tells him to stop, pulls his gun on him, and this fella says, I'm not going to stop, says, you need to put your gun away, and then charges this cop. I mean, just running at him hard after the cop's been telling him to get on the ground if he's crashed the cars into several cars and all of that. So the policeman shoots him, kills him. And people are, of course, saying, well, why'd you shoot him? He didn't have a gun. And, of course, I'm thinking, I love this. People said, well, he could have shot him with a taser, and then if that didn't work, then he could have pulled his gun out. Now, this guy is probably 20 feet away and running at him hard.
Yeah, you got time for that, sure.
I don't think people understand what a threat is. And those cops face it every single day.
That's try doing their job for a week and see if you're still anti-cop.
Yeah.
Or just one day.
For those who are still, for the people who are unclear, that is an absolute legitimate shoot. And people say, well, he wasn't armed. Well, you know what? When he gets to the police officer, he is armed. If he can get that gun away from the cop, he's got a gun.
If somebody's pointing a gun at me and I still charge them, I pretty much earned what I got coming, right?
It's kind of the Darwin thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not afraid of that gun. Well, then you earned what you got.
Or put that
there it is.
Or put that situation into your home. I mean, if somebody's breaking in and you tell them stop, and they repeatedly come at you or keep coming at you, what would you do in your home?
I'm going to shoot them. And people say, well, he didn't have a gun. I don't care. All he had was a screwdriver. Well, you can kill somebody with a screwdriver. But if he's coming at me, and here's the thing people got to understand. If he ignores your commands, and you're saying, get out of my house, go away, do not come here, and he keeps advancing, and he sees you has a gun, his plan is to take your gun away from you, and then he's going to kill you. Done deal. When he closes the distance and gets to within arm's reach of you and gets his hands on you, he's going to try to get your gun. You cannot let him get that close to you. Distance is everything in that situation.
Well, they say, 21 feet and under is the average confrontation, but most of them are 3-4 feet. They're right on you.
Most of them are right on top of you.
Yeah,
and you got the 21-foot rule that a Dennis Tooler drill of a guy with a knife at 21 feet can get to you before you can draw and shoot him.
Right. I mean, it happens so fast that you don't have a chance to. Well, we'll tase him first, and then if that doesn't work, maybe we'll negotiate with him. I just think people in general are idiots.
You may be right about that. That may just be the headline for the whole thing. Yeah. That's right. But generally speaking, you're all idiots. Okay, there you go. It's just, they just don't know anything. And that's where, I know there are people listening to saying, well, I can't afford to go to a gun site. Okay, true. I understand. A lot of people can't do that. There are trainers near you where you can go for a day. There are DVDs you can buy. You can go to shopguntalk.com. You can get our DVDs. If you can't do that, you can go to our YouTube channel, GUNTALK. And we have hundreds of videos there where you can learn techniques of shooting, of moving while shooting, of communicating, of first-person defender, of people getting attacked, how to fight your way out, how to fight in the dark. All this stuff is there, but you do have to make an investment, and that investment's time.
And that investment of time could keep you around a hell of a lot longer.
And take care of your family. And I go all the way back to, you will know what people value by what they spend their money and their time on. It's really as simple as that, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm still back at the Ruger site. Spending my money.
I'm sorry. I've moved on to the Smith & Wesson site quickly to go to my bookmarked SIG site and see what these guys have been up to. Oh, wait. I can't go. Wait. There's buy a new M&P rifle, get a free Caldwell mag charger. This is a new Smith & Wesson deal. Actually, this is on Gundelio. So you get this $100 value mag charger. You know what a pain it is to load. If you sit there and load 20 AR mags, your thumb's screaming at you.
Yeah.
This is pretty sweet. So you can buy an M&P rifle. And boy, and I hate to do this to you, Michelle, but the prices of ARs have come down. It's crazy.
You're pushing down in the $500 and $600 price range now. They're pretty affordable for most people.
They really are.
And they're still a good quality firearm. I mean, it's not like they're putting out, excuse the word, but it's not like they're putting out crap to the citizens, Well,
think about it. I mean, 5 years ago, an AR by itself was $1,500.
Right.
Now you can get one all dressed up for $1,500.
Right. I mean, there are advantages and disadvantages, and you need to weigh out what you're going to do with it. But for the most part, if you're just going to go out plinking or having fun, or you just want to tack it all out, you can do that. You can have a lot of fun and be a lot of fun with the family. I'm going to use the family word because I think it's important to bring everybody in, and it's inexpensive.
Between $500 and $700, you can get an AR-15 ready to go, and it can end up becoming whatever you want it to become. You can swap everything out on it. They're completely modular, so get yourself into it. Now, I will say this. We just had this theater shooting. There's going to be another push. Obama's going to keep pushing, and people say, well, it's not going to go anywhere. Well, you know what? That's not really my concern right now. My concern for everybody is this. Remember when you couldn't get ammo and you couldn't get the gun that you wanted? I'm going to suggest again that you start buying ammo a box at a time, 100 rounds at a time, 1,000 rounds at a time, whatever it is you can afford, and just start sticking it away. Not like a big hoarder deal, but there's going to come a time when this nuttiness is going to happen again with everybody buying everything up. And you don't want to be saying, I sure wish I had bought some ammo when it was readily available.
I'm sure there's business guys out there buying 5-6 ARs at a time now, knowing this is going to come, and they'll be able to triple their money in a year or whatever. Not just ammo. Or
you got the guys that bought 5 of them at $1,500 when they were high, and now they're wondering, what do I do with all this stuff?
Right. Boy, I hope we have more gun laws come in place.
Oh, man, they're hurting right now. But no, now's the time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would buy a bunch of guns other than the ones I want from me. But
well, you're breaking up, Tom. I didn't hear you.
I'm breaking up. I said I'll buy them for me, not for other people. Is what I'm saying.
Oh.
But I'm looking under my desk right now. I have 2,000 rounds of .223. And 4,000 rounds of 9mm that I just got in that are unopened. And I'm going to be buying some more. I am my own worst enemy. I am able to self-enable.
That is bad.
That's good. Now the public doesn't feel so bad that you just enable them. You also spend your money.
See what he doesn't tell you.
Oh, my God.
He has 2 cell phones. He calls himself. And it says, hey, Tom.
I asked permission. Is it okay if I buy this? Oh, sure. Yeah, I would if I were you.
Tom said
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. So, no, I am trying to put away. And the thing is, it's not crazy expensive right now. The ammo is particularly, 9mm ammo. You can, just buy in the range stuff, just full metal jacket stuff. But I'm trying to buy like 500 rounds at a time and just kind of stick it back. And I don't know what the magic number is. I don't need to have 1,000,000 rounds or 100,000 rounds, but honestly, it wouldn't bother me to have 5,000 rounds of each of my favorite calibers sitting around.
It's reasonable.
And you also don't want to be the person that's like, oh, if I would have had 10 more rounds of ammo or, that additional box or whatever it is. I mean, we talked about that before. You don't have to be a hoarder, but what is your number? Who knows? I
don't know. But I know I probably have 10 or 20 boxes of 264 Win Mag. So it's important to have that.
Big market for that, too.
And Michelle's going, yeah, I know. And they're like half the people are going, what?
I know, right?
What caliber did he just say? What?
Remember that person that called a couple weeks ago?
We kept their number, right?
We're, heck, I'm the guy that still has 10 boxes of 30-30 Remington accelerator ammo.
Ooh.
With these Zabo loads with the 22s in them.
4,000 feet per second.
Well, then
weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They were actually 4,000, 4,100 feet per second.
Yeah, we couldn't hit anything with it.
No, but that's okay because it was fast. It looked cool. That's right. It's fast. It would look cool. That's
And he has
don't worry about the hidden thing.
Right, and he's got it.
No, I have it.
That's right. Actually, Michelle I have it and you don't. And that's what matters. So there.
That's right.
So I got black Talon ammo. Oh no, not that. Oh, what was the one I heard recently? Here's a name out of the past. Somebody mentioned on the show a week or two ago. Supervel. That goes way back. Supervel was the first that I know of real high performance handgun ammo.
I'm assuming the Vel is for velocity.
Yep, super velocity. Okay. Created by a guy named Lee Juris, and it was like plus P++ back before, it was like, oh man, if you shoot this, it can blow up buildings in a 9mm. It's like, okay, it didn't actually do anything, but it was super Vel. It was super velocity. And you go, okay, if you test it now, you're kind of going, okay, fine, yawn. It's really no better than plus P, but
how much
pretty
of
cool
that do you
have? I don't, Jim. I have none of that.
No.
I'm not a hoarder of ammo. I have no ammo whatsoever.
I have no super Vel.
The truth be told, he can't remember if he filed under S or V.
Yeah. It's not plus.
I'm sorry, Senator. I have no recollection of that, Senator.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
That's right. We do have, what the heck, 300 H&H, 375 H&H, every kind of 416. But here's the thing. We're kind of weird because when we have a manufacturer who says, hey, I'm going to come in to do some videos with you, and we've got these guns chambered for this weird stuff, you guys have ammo for that, don't you? Yeah, we do. We probably do somewhere. It's under a bed or in a closet. I'll get back with you tomorrow on that. So it's weird stuff. We got weird stuff out there. I kind of like to settle in on maybe just 9. I like 45. I've kind of gotten where I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I'm just not finding a need for the 40. Just doesn't do it for me. I know people say, what's the perfect compromise? And I go, well, why compromise?
Yeah. Well, if you had to pick,
I like 9s.
If you had to pick 2 rounds, what would it be? I'd go with 9 and 223, just for the universality of it all.
Just not 2 rounds for everything.
No, just to juggle. No, if you could only pick two rounds, you'd go rifle round and handgun round. What would you go with? Yeah,
for self-defense, it'd be 9 and 223. Yeah. But if I had to do it for everything else, I would slit my wrist. That would be horrible. It's just I can't even imagine the thought of it. Just frightens me. Makes
kind of
me
rules
break out
out
a cold
elephant
sweat.
And rhino, right?
It's an old deal of okay. If you could only have 3 guns, if you could only have 4 guns, well, it'd be smart if you make one of them a 22. But that's what we used to say. But that was assuming we could find ammo for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you get a 22, a 45, a 9. 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 20. Oh, wait, no, here I am again.
Here you go again.
Wait a minute, that's how I got started in this silliness. So, there you go. All right, well, I'm going to go cruise the web and find some more guns to buy. So there you
Sweet.
go. Go to check out the Gundealio and see what the deals are and have a bunch of fun. So we'll see you guys next week.
Be well.
Awesome. Take care.
Well, there you go. Another Gun Talk After Show is in the can. We sure do appreciate you sticking around. And remember, everything Gun Talk is available 24/7 at guntalk.com. See you next week for the Gun Talk After Show.